Our Rise Above campaign is all about celebrating the human spirit and rising above life's tough challenges. The Rise Above series features a collection of stories of everyday folks doing incredible things right here in our own community. Today, we're going to meet a Clovis mom who has been suffering from Lyme disease after being bit by a tick up at Shaver Lake. She's been fighting ever since, not only for her life, but to raise awareness to the often misunderstood and misdiagnosed disease. Jessica Devine shows us what it means to rise above.
We asked you to share your stories overcoming life's challenges. To rise above, here's one inspiring story.
When Clovis Mom Jessica Devine got sick on a family trip at Shaver Lake, it took 4 years and 30 doctors to find out what happened to her.
I was very close to dying, and I finally got my diagnosis, and it was hard to take because there's no cure.
It was Lyme disease. An infected tick had bitten Jessica at Shaver Lake, altering her health forever.
My body doesn't function correctly anymore. It warps everything.
Jessica now dedicates her life to educating others on the often misunderstood and misdiagnosed Lyme disease.
If I'm stuck with it, then I'm going to make sure I try to prevent every person out there from going through what I did.
Turning a positive diagnosis into a positive mission to help others. Jessica Devine inspires us all to rise above.
Share your stories with us now at riseabove.net and keep choosing to rise above.
And joining me now is the Lyme disease warrior herself, Jessica Devine. Jessica, great to see you again.
Great to see you too.
Your piece is so moving and your story is so touching. Remind folks of that day when you got bit. I mean, I'm sure it's hard to look back. I mean, your whole world's changed since then, hasn't it?
Absolutely. It changed in a bite, in that moment.
One bite.
Yeah, it changed totally who I am, my health. Everything. I started having, I don't know if you want to talk about symptoms or not, but I mean, I had a multitude of things happen to me from the night of the bite. Full body tremors, seizures, memory problems.
I mean, every day you wake up, you don't know what to expect anymore.
No. For instance, today.
Today, I know you've had a really bad day, so we appreciate you even more for coming on.
Absolutely.
But I just think it's so amazing what you're doing in our community. You are telling everybody on your Facebook and anybody you can about Lyme disease.
Oh, I scream it from the rooftops.
Because you wish someone had almost done that before you, because doctors didn't know for 5 years?
Yeah, well, I searched for about 4 years for a diagnosis. I saw over 30 doctors, and I just kept getting a multitude of different diagnoses, but I knew they didn't make sense. I knew it was deeper. I even had the bullseye. Not everyone gets that, but
the bullseye meaning the ring around, which a tick bites you. If you get that ring around,
that's a 100%. But not everybody gets that, or you miss it. So that's not a guarantee. But I tell everyone because I refuse for people to go through what I went to. So if I run it out into people in public, they find out.
Yeah, they do.
I do. I will tell them.
You are just such an incredible person in that you are using your voice, because you could just, you know, crawl up in a ball in the corner of your room, and you're not allowing that to happen, and that is truly rising above.
Yeah, I fight back. I want things to change in the Lyme disease community. I want the medical field, I want everyone to wake up so we get better help. We get diagnosed sooner. It can make a big deal on how fast it spreads to different parts of your body.
That's so true. Remind folks a typical day. I know you get hooked up to a lot of IVs, you take a lot of pills. I mean, anything and everything to feel better, right?
Oh, I'm taking sometimes every hour, every 2 hours, IVs 3 times a day, lots of ER visits. It's a very common thing. Today I woke up with very high fevers. It's nothing that I can give you, but it's one of the tick that bit me at Shaver Lake carried 5 diseases. So one of them is like malaria. It's called babesia. It gives me very high fevers. It's made me anemic. It's given me a heart condition. I mean, it gives you everything because it goes on every part of your body.
Yeah. So this tick carried 5 diseases.
Yes. It carried Rocky Mountain spotted fever, Bartonella, which dogs get vaccinated for, babesia, which is like malaria, Ehrlichia, and Lyme disease. There is some other things that it gave me I can't even pronounce them.
Yeah,
I
that's
focus
okay.
on those.
Yes, and Lyme is the jazziest of them all.
Right. It's the easiest to say.
Because it's green, we've got the green, and we've got obviously the lime to represent, and I know you're taking a bite out of lime, and it's so fun to see that on social media when folks are biting into a lime. So what's your message in terms of rising above? As we mentioned, it's celebrating the human spirit, it's celebrating fighting for your life and for others. What makes you keep fighting?
Well, I think one of the things is the lesson it gives my kids. You know what I mean? They need to know. Oh my gosh, I always feel like you're like Oprah. I always want to cry with you.
Well, thank you. That's what this is for.
But I want my children to know that when things happen to you, you do not let things, you might get knocked down, but you keep rising above and you stand up. And if something's not right in the community, in the medical community, you keep standing up for yourself, and no matter how bad you feel, I'm still capable of rising above and pushing through, no matter how bad I feel. I feel really bad today, but am I here? Absolutely. You know why? Because someone might watch it, and it might save a life, and that's worth it. That's worth it to me.
Well, it's so true, and I know you're saving lots of lives, and just by speaking about it, by putting yourself out there, by being vulnerable and sharing your story. So for that, we thank you, Jessica.
I thank you.
You are the true example of rising above. You've done so much for our community and Lyme awareness, so keep up the good work, okay?
I will.
Even when it hurts.
I appreciate you.
Thank you. We appreciate you. And just a reminder, folks, our Rise Above series, it highlights local people right here in our own backyards who have risen above some of the toughest things you'll ever face. So if you know someone who shows what it means to rise above, please head over to the website riseabove.net to nominate someone and learn more.